Hi, I'm Ken Bianco Jr. and welcome to TrainWorldTV. We have George, head of sales and support and everything at Soundtraxx. So I thank you very much for stopping by. And we're talking about ECOnami. This is the second video, but we're talking about diesels now.
We're going to talk about diesels this time.
Okay.
We have here for you a diesel, and out of the package it comes with an EMD 567, but it has selectable options on the ECOnami decoder, so you can select the prime mover to match your model.
Okay.
So because this is a GP60, we're going to switch this over real quick. We're going to show you how easy it is to make it become a EMD 710. So with selectable options, you are now able to match the decoder to the model.
Interesting.
So now we've got the proper prime mover for this GP60, an EMD 710.
Okay.
And so one of the other features we've added into ECOnami is the exhaust usually is based on throttle settings, but we've added in a manual option that you can manually load up the diesel engine so that it sounds more like it's working harder. So to show that, we're just going to move him forward here about speed step 3 or 4. You'll hear it notch up, but it's going to stay basically in notch 1.
Okay.
So as it notches up. So we're going to go ahead and press the F5 and it's going to manually notch it up to simulate working heavier and harder to get that train up over the hill.
Interesting. Okay.
And then when you crest the hill, you can use the F6 button and you'll hear it manually notching down. So you can adjust this fully one way or the other to really mimic the work that the locomotive is doing.
Wow. Wow.
One of the other features we've built into the ECOnami product, we've talked about a little bit on the Steam, is the F11 brake, the active brakes.
Okay.
So to show you that, we're going to move in reverse here. I'm just going to crank up to speed step 10. We'll get going. And when I apply the brakes, we're going to hit F11. And the locomotive is then going to apply the brakes. You're going to hear the squeal, and it's going to come to a stop. And we can change directions, release the brakes, and the locomotive starts to move again.
Very nice.
And now there's also some new features in there. For example, the bell. You not only have a selectable bell like you do with the steam decoder we talked about earlier, but you can also make the bell be grade crossing sensitive.
Okay.
And what that means is when you blow the horn, the bell will automatically play in the background. And also on this particular model, we have our ditch lights on, and you can, just like the traditional Tsunamis and with the ECOnamis, you can also have the alternating flashing ditch lights like the real locomotives had. And you can decide how fast the lights will flash. You can also determine how long they'll flash after you release the horn. So what we'll do is we'll show you this real quick. Let me back this up using the 050 switcher. And if you want, we'll blow the horn, and you can see the lights flash. You can hear the bell ring. And in the ECOnami, we've also been asked a lot to have a press of a single button to create a grade crossing sequence, which is the familiar 2 longs, a short, and a long. And we've implemented that using function 9.
Very cool.
So in the diesel decoder, you get 5 prime movers. You get an EMD 567, an EMD 645 turbo, a 710 turbo. You get an Alco 244 and a modern GE FDL block. You get selectable air compressors, and as we talked about, selectable bells and selectable horns, all in the one decoder. So now you can buy the decoder and match it to your model rather than having to go out and select the decoder that matches the model that you're working on.
It's also good because if someone does buy a decoder and they decide they're not going to put it on maybe this diesel engine, they're able to use it on a different diesel engine that they may have. So it's a lot more compatible with more diesel engines, more friendly, instead of having to know every single certain SKU for which particular product or decoder the engine matches up to. It's more flexible. So that's really good to hear.
And we've got a lot of features built into the decoder that rivals a lot of the high-end decoders from other brands, but at a much lower price that competes with the lower brand, the other brands with the lower price. And so that way you're not sacrificing quality for the price of the decoder.
So when you think good quality at affordable prices, think ECOnami. Thank you very much, George. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem at all. And you could get all your Soundtraxx ECOnami products at TrainWorld.com. Shop online 24/7. Thank you.